Okay, here we go. We're going to talk about ellipses now. They give us some information, so a little sketch will help you. They tell you that the foci are at 8, 0 and negative 8, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and that the vertices are at 9 and negative 9. Okay, now the vertices tell us what A is. Okay, and we need A squared, which will be 9 squared, which is 81, will be under the letter, I guess, of the direction that the ellipse is going. So because Stewie's head is going in the long direction here, that is the X direction, 81 has to be under X, and those two are out. Now, the foci tells us C. So we know that C is 8. And we need to know C because the equation is A squared minus B squared equals C squared. Because if this is a plus and this becomes a minus, and that is going to tell us, what B is, which we need to know for the other number. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 81 from both sides. And 64 minus 81 is negative 17. So negative B squared is negative 17. Divide by negative 1. B squared is 17. So that means C has to be my answer. B squared is 17. We don't have to graph it. They just want to know the equation. Okay, let's try this one. They tell you the foci, which tells us C again. This major axis tells us how long Stewie's head is. So if you divide it by 2, it will tell you what A is. Okay, so A is 7 and C is 6. We need to know what direction it's going. Well, the foci is the eyes, and it's going in the X direction again. Do you see how it's going in the X direction again? So that means 49 is going to go under X. So that means the only possible choice is going to be A. Okay, number 9, you're going to want to write this one down. We're going to have to do some rearranging. X squareds go with X's. Y squareds go with Y's. And we're going to move, and cover this up. Move that number by adding 311 to the other side. Okay, next thing you have to do is you have to take this 16 and divide it out. So this is an X squared. Now you have to take 64 divided by 16, which is 4X. You're going to have to do the same thing here. You're going to put plus 25, and that gives me a Y squared plus, take 50 divided by 25. That's 2Y. And that equals 311. I didn't give myself a lot of space here. Find the magic number. Half of 4 squared. So half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. But when I put 4 there, I have to take 16 times 4, which is 64, and that's what I add to the 311. Half of 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1, but I take 25 times 1, which is 25, and I add it to the 311. So I have 16 times X minus 2 squared plus 25 times Y plus 1 squared. Those numbers come from having that and having the 4. And then you take 311 plus 64 plus 25, which is 400. It should always be a pretty nice number there. We are almost done. You divide all the pieces by that number, and you simplify those fractions. 16 over 400, okay? I'm going to write it up here. It's going to be an x minus 2 squared over, that's going to be 1 over 25, plus the y plus 1 squared. 25 over 400 is 16. 1 over 16 equals 1. Now I know what the center is. X comes from x and y comes from y. Change the signs. Change the signs. So it's going to be 2, negative 1. Okay, the vertices come from A. A is the biggest number. A squared is the biggest number. And the biggest number on the denominator is 25. So that makes this A squared. So A squared is 25 and A is 5. You count that. You're going to have to do a little sketch here, guys. 2, negative 1. You count from the center in the direction of X. So in the X direction, that's left to right, we're going to count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm still down 1, but you're going to take 2 plus 5, which is 7, and down 1. Now you're going to do the same thing in the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to be at negative 3, negative 1, because you're still down 1. One of those numbers is going to stay the same. Negative 3, negative 1. And those are your vertices. Okay, they're going to ask the foci next. Foci comes from C. Okay, so we're going to take A squared minus B squared equals C squared. A squared is the big number, 16. B squared is the other number, which is 16 here. I think I said 16 was 25 first. I don't know if I said that or not. 25 minus 16 is 9. So 9 is C squared, so that means C is 9. You count that in the same direction that you just did. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you're still down negative 1 in all of these. These all stayed negative 1 for that second thing. Get some of those points at least. And now you're going to go back to the 2, and you're going to add and subtract 3. So we're at 5, negative 1. And 2 minus 3 is negative 1, negative 1. Okay, and do we have to find a graph? Yeah. So we're looking for it over here. This is C. Stewie's head is going in the long direction. Okay. Okay, now we're on hyperbola, so I'm going to make another videos for that. Okay, so what did I just do? Just 2 of them? Did 9, 8, and 7. Oh, and 6. So 6 through 9. That's all right. All right, we're making progress. Okay, good deal.